From your perspective, where you're standing with your clients, peers, across industry, are there any blind spots? And if so, what are you doing to address those gaps?
Well, yeah, I mean, 100%. So one of the things we look at is effectively sort of vulnerability from adoption and use of AI models within any sort of system architecture. And so one of the gaps it's being talked a lot more about now, but the way it is addressed is still a huge gap from a cyber and security perspective. And it's how AI models both have access to information, how they gain autonomy, but also how they can be controlled purely through the data that's sent to them. And so because we're dealing with an information layer, which has now a larger impact on architecture and anything that's connected to it, there's still this gap in terms of how you control AI within a network to prevent leakage, security access, unintended outcomes. So I'd still say that's a strong gap in the modern era.
And in terms of events like International Cyber Expo, and obviously all here for the next couple of days at ICE, what end? It's clearly very important. But what personally do you feel the benefits are from your own sort of side of things, and what's brought you here over the last couple of days?
So I'd say there's two things that sort of have really sort of drawn us to this. I think the first one, purely from a kind of a business and sort of customer relationship piece, is it's seeing the people we're working with, being able to touch base, talk about the problems, get a little bit more insight into sort of what's going on in their worlds. And so everyone's got their own environments, everyone's got their own chapters. So that feedback is so valuable. From a kind of a sort of a technology and challenge perspective, I think the real interesting piece here is that just being able to talk about where with AI adoption, we're seeing the gaps, the challenges, especially from autonomous cyber defense. I mean, if you're seeing adoption of AI from a cyber network perspective, this is a real frontier piece of technology. And so being able to both understand what people are trying to do with it, inform where the risks are, and actually start to feed back into that narrative for the community is really important.